there's a military phrase that say ounces equal pounds and pounds equal pain. If you're rucking and carrying heavy stuff, it's only a matter of time until like you don't have enough calories to keep going or you just don't want to. So in survival and bushcraft, the whole idea is to limit your pack to the least amount of things. And the question was, what's the least amount of things that you would want to carry with you in a survival pack? So for that, I'm going to have to point you to Dave Canterbury and the 5 C's of survivability. This is something that he's come up with, and it's pretty cool. It's a cool acronym, but each one starts with a C, and you can remember what to take in your survival kit that way. The first is cutting edge. We want a durable cutting edge. We don't want to be reliant on, flint knapped cutting instruments, or worse yet, burning trees down like Jeremiah Johnson. So we want a cutting implement, whether that's an axe or a knife or a saw, some sort of, or a combination of all three. But we want to start with a knife most likely because we get the most use, like redundant and parallel usage out of a cutting implement there. The second C is combustion. We've got to start a fire. Combustion is the way we get that spark going. So we have like a ferro rod. We teach those in class. Some people like flint and steel. Some people like fire pistons. But I really love the bow drill. If you spend any length of time, you know that like I'm a bow drill fanatic. I like it. Hand drill's cool too, but bow drill, I do that all the time, and it's fun. It's fun to bring a fire from nothing. But I got to refer you to Morse Kahansky, and what he says is that like an astronaut wouldn't go into space without a spacesuit, and you shouldn't go into the wilderness without a lighter. And he was super accomplished survivalist up in the boreal forest of Canada. So you know he knows what he's talking about. So the second C is combustion. Even if we know how to do a bow drill, we want those redundant and parallel systems, just like we were talking about, like an axe and a saw in the cutting example. But combustion, the second C is combustion. So again, we have first is cutting, second, combustion, three is cover. We've talked at length about the difference between cover and shelter, but we need to get some way to get out of the elements. In 50-degree weather and raining, hypothermia sets in like no time at all, and it's super uncomfortable to be out there getting rained on. So we need something. I really like a poncho in my kit, or like a tarp is great. Rain gear is even better, but you don't have the multiple uses of rain gear. So maybe a poncho tarp might be the best thing. Now, a poncho tarp is just a tarp that has a head cut in the middle that you can use as like a tent or like a mobile shelter, and throw it over your backpack even, so you have your backpack and all your clothes on. Keep yourself dry with the poncho, but then string it up and have a cover for your tent or for your sleeping area. And then offset the lack of insulation by having a fire with your combustion device. So the first, again, cutting, combustion, cover. The next one, container. Number 4 is a container. You know the importance of that if you've been to our survival essentials class. Boiling water, creating a bowl from wood, or a container from wood or earth, doing pottery, or like a well, sip well, hole in the ground to boil water in. We know that a container is sacred. So having a super high quality single wall canteen is really, really nice. And I prefer the wide mouth clean canteens because you can fit herbs and things in to stew, while you're also like have the ability to like purify your water that way. So a wide mouth single wall clean canteen. We don't want the dual wall insulated because once they're thrown on the fire, all of that kind of goes to shit really quickly. So a quality container. Number 5, cordage. Rope is so hard to reproduce. Not rope isn't hard to make. However, the strength of paracord and the strength of like a waxed bank line is difficult to create, and the natural cordages, they just don't have the abrasion resistance that like 550 paracord does. And if you see me out in the woods, you see like one of those paracord bracelets on. I reserve that little bit of cordage for bow drill because the bow drill with natural cordage is like super difficult, and it actually your form has to change to make it work. But cordage is really good. So like a high quality cordage, and you can never have too much of it. At the same time, we're tying our knots so that we can save that rope for the next place. So there's the 5 C's that Dave Canterbury highlights for the least amount of gear that you want to be taking in with you. So he has cutting, combustion, cover, container, cordage. Now I'd like to add one more thing, and that's kind of the purpose of this video. The 6th C, I'm going to say, is community. And it takes a village. We had a whole video about that not too long ago. But you're going to want to have friends to do this with, whether it's friends or a community of mentors that teach you these skills faster than it would take for you to learn them on your own. And the sharing of resources and knowledge, that's what really makes bushcraft fun for me. When you get around with a bunch of people, you start brain tanning hides, you start making bows and arrows, you're learning friction fire, sharing edible and medicinal plants. And none of that really happens without a community. No man's an island. It's way more fun with friends. So that's something I'd like to add to the 5 C's. Let's make it 6 and add community there. If you want more information, about all this stuff, you can go to sustainablehomestead.com. And if you've made it this far, I know you're passionate about surviving whatever the universe throws at you. So go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe so you never miss the information. But ultimately, sustainablehomestead.com is the place to go for more information and to get your hands on either in our resource library or our homestead mastermind, where we meet every Wednesday night and talk about skills for creating abundance for yourself, your family, and your community. We've got skilled bushcrafters, survivalists, farmers, ranchers, project managers, people that are out here doing the sustainable living thing and have been for decades. We're here to show you how to do it faster. If you want to jump on the highway and learn want the sheer download of information, call that like the cable internet, right? Come visit us in person, take our survival essentials classes, parlay that into more advanced skills, our like scout series. Exodus is a fun one too, where it's as close to as close as you can get to a real bug out situation. Or come for our homestead permaculture and learn how the design science behind efficient homesteads, so that you get more food with less work and more time to spend with your family and the people that you care about. SustainableHomestead.com, again, is the place to go for all that. And remember that preparedness today means peace of mind tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the future.